Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like 2 losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try. Stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun, Washington. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. A look at the numbers for Coleman in last week's game. 14 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Coleman. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Set. Green 39.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Washington. Thomas has got it. Complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
All right, here we go. Green.
Off the play fake. Washington. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at about the 14. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We're watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick 6 going the other way.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this run.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 10 carries, 51 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so that some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On second down, Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
From the gun on third down, Washington. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here. Operating from the gun, Washington. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Z. So.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to look deep down the field. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Here's Coleman on the toss. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Sharp's got it left side. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run it with Coleman. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Oh, man. 4th down and 1, and you're on your own side of midfield? That takes a little bit of courage to pull off, but they went ahead and snapped it, and it'll work out for them as they get the first down.
Coleman now. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
This is Coleman. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. They give him a gain of 37.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, it allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll toss it to Coleman. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On first down, Washington. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Washington. He's going to wind up and air it out. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play for the Saints on 3rd down. 57 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. Throwing on 1st down, Washington. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw again, Washington. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
On 3rd down, Washington. The open man is Smith. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun, Washington. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
No matter the week, no matter the team, you're going to hear coaches wax nostalgic for big tight ends that can control the edge of the line of scrimmage. Well, sometimes you don't have a tight end in the game, so now you're looking at your tackles. Can they control the perimeter? Make sure that that gets sealed off so there's no penetration off of the edge. If they're able to do that, that's why a toss play is successful. Because once they get to the edge, they can pick and choose.
He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite at that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
To throw on second down, Washington. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. On 1st and 10, Washington. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw on second down. Washington. Throw left side taken in by Meredith. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
From the gun, Washington. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So
that's caught inside the 20. And he will be marked down inside of New Orleans 10. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down, sliding out of the pocket. Oh, he just needed to throw it away, but instead, out of bounds he goes, and that's a sack. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Completes it to Coleman. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Well, they are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's fourth down.
Black 58 rail! Black 58 rail!
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Ace! Ace! Slow! 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 Z! 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 Run up!
Mahomes now on first down. Going for the deep ball. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They will run again with Coleman. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us.
Figured a way to slide somebody.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Washington. With hitter here, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
That's caught by Meredith right side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area, let your quarterback hit you.
On the check down, he finds Kamara. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Washington. That's complete to Meredith. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
Fucking third quarter, basically.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Again, it's Kamara.
Oh.
Kamara's got the first down and then some. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints get a bit closer. Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. Looking to throw. Washington. Forced, and he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
You better keep them safeties high.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Now Balaj. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And now running right through it. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Make them bring them down, safeties down.
Still looking fresh in this one,
or we're going to keep running it. But they don't want to do it because they know that corner over there will be in some serious fucking trouble.
Late in ball games.
Here's Coleman. Whoosh. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On first down, Mahomes. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And it will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go now. Blue 90.
On first down, Washington. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick-6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by one more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fresh off the pick-6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Back to throw. Washington. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey. All right, here we go.
Throwing again. Washington. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Throwing on first down. Washington over the middle. That's caught by Meredith. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Saints on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Washington. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Eagles' hands team able to cover it up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the...
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, yep. And that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? Think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner, and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
All right, here we go.
To throw on second down, Washington. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the gun on third down, Washington. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Set,
On 1st and 10, Washington. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Washington gets it to Meredith, complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Operating from the gun. Washington. That's caught. It's Thomas. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He spins free. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season.
And that's caught inside the 30. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. It's Coleman here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They get it to him running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 3-19.
On first down, Washington. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Philadelphia, they did what they needed to do. They split their first two road games of the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Oakland to take on the Raiders. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.